Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the Dodge Challenger, addressing a question I get asked quite frequently: is the Challenger coming back after this model year, or will it be cancelled? So to answer this question, we'll look at a Dodge Challenger overview, answer whether there will be a next-gen 2024 Challenger, check out what that future Challenger might look like and be like, and finally, when it would arrive. You'll find the video outline on screen now, and let's get into it. So the third generation Dodge Challenger as we know it first returned in concept form at the 2006 North American International Auto Show, and it was a preview for the real thing. The SRT8 came out for the 2008 model year, incorporating many design cues from the 1970 Challenger RT. The Challenger has continued to be a tremendous hit, selling almost 700,000 units across North America, Mexico, and Europe since 2008, packed with Hemi performance and always staying true to the original designs that captivated so many muscle car enthusiasts. Dodge burst out of the gates with the inaugural SRT8 with the 6.1-liter Hemi V8 in 2008, then added the RT with the 5.7-liter Hemi, as well as the SXT with the V6 for 2009. From then on, the Challenger would always get attention on the internet and social media, thanks to Dodge's marketing strategy and constantly adding new limited edition versions and upping the horsepower. 2010, for example, saw the Mopar 10 edition with 500 units built for the US. 2011 saw the new SRT8 debut with a 470 horsepower 6.4-liter Hemi, while 2014 had the 100th anniversary edition SXT and RT that was available in the exclusive high-octane red pearl paint. 2015 models got a facelift and some massive upgrades. First there was the Hellcat, which shook up the car world with a 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi V8 with 707 horsepower and a 0-60 time in the mid 3-second range, all for a relatively inexpensive $60,990 MSRP. Dodge would continue to execute strategies to keep things exciting on this older vehicle that was still riding on the LC chassis. First, Dodge kept things fun and fresh with new trim levels and seemingly minor changes like performance hood and fascias, and the addition of the wide body, just to name a few. These totally changed the look and feel of the cars, and something simple like this could transform the older model and drive people to buy them. Second, Dodge listened and offered a lot of what people wanted from the factory, as exhibited by something like the jailbreak model, as well as the many options for visual modifications like decals, stripes, blacked out hoods, and more. And third, Dodge continued with more limited edition models and variants that were basically identical to the others, but were very desirable and increased demand at the same time thanks to a few visual mods. So throughout this generation, we saw the only two-door muscle car with available all-wheel drive, the GT, released in 2017, and in 2018 there was the SRT Demon, limited to 3,300 produced. That came with a higher output 6.2-liter Hemi with a 2.7-liter supercharger and an output of 840 horsepower when running on 100-octane fuel. That was pretty much the pinnacle of what Dodge achieved performance-wise, with the Demon able to do 0-60 in 2.3 seconds and the quarter mile in 9.65 seconds. Dodge continued to pump out new variants like the widebody, Hellcat Red Eye, Scat Pack 1320, SRT Superstock, 50th Anniversary Editions, and even the 2023 convertible. Along the way, we saw fun and bright heritage paint colors and desirable packages like the TA and Shaker. Unfortunately, however, we got confirmation earlier this year that the Challenger will be discontinued after this 2023 model year, as Dodge CEO Tim Kuniskis talked about celebrating the end of an era and the closing of the window of these L-powered Hemi cars. Now, what about a 2024 next-gen Challenger replacement? No one has really talked about this because Dodge isn't throwing the Challenger nameplate around right now. They've been silent about it. Dodge has been quite clear that the Charger will live on as an EV with the Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept, which will go to production sometime in 2024. We've seen that at the Detroit Auto Show and SEMA 2022, and there are at least some details released about it, like how it will have different horsepower levels and be electric only. But what about an equivalent Challenger? There are some cues that make it seem extremely likely that Dodge will bring back the Challenger. First, when retiring a nameplate for good, the auto manufacturer makes it clearly known and tries to capitalize on that fact. Dodge has talked plenty about how the current generation of the Challenger is coming to an end as we know it, but they never said this will be the last year for the Challenger as a whole. If that were the case, you'd be sure they would market it as the last Challenger ever and boost the sales as much as possible that way. To me, that definitely makes it seem like the nameplate returns in the near future. Things get tricky here because the new Charger Daytona SRT seemingly steals the identity of the Challenger here. Obviously, the Charger has been a sedan only since its 2006 return, and the Challenger's been a very similar offering, but in a coupe-only form. Now all of a sudden, this new Charger is a two-door with a long wheelbase and some pretty good interior space. The North American auto industry has been shifting away from cars, with people buying more SUVs and even trucks, so very few companies even offer two-door coupes anymore. There's no way Dodge releases two different coupes that are almost identical here by adding the Challenger. So that begs the question, what will the future Challenger be like? So, because selling the two very similar vehicles doesn't make sense at all from a business standpoint, I believe Dodge will make the Challenger a smaller and lighter vehicle, as the Charger Daytona SRT concept is still pretty huge. People have been criticizing the L platform vehicles for years, saying they're way too heavy and calling them boats with respect to their handling. The Challenger has been in direct competition with the American rivals, the Chevrolet Camaro and Ford Mustang, for nearly its entire life, but it's always been a lot bigger and heavier. Taking a look at the numbers, the base SXT V6 Challenger is 348 pounds heavier than the Mustang EcoBoost and 440 pounds heavier than the Camaro LS V6. Moving to the top of the line, the Hellcat Red-Eye weighs a massive 4,481 pounds, which is 299 pounds chunkier than the Shelby GT500 and 543 pounds extra on the ZL1. That's a huge difference, and that also directly impacts the performance. The Challenger V6 can't even keep up with any of its counterparts, and to match the other V6 and EcoBoost offerings, you need the 5.7-liter Hemi. The GT500 and ZL1 also have the slight edge over the Hellcat Red-Eye. By making the Challenger smaller and lighter, it will help the Challenger to match up better with its rivals. They could also add a convertible option from the factory, like the Camaro and Mustang have. Now, how about the powertrain? Alongside the smaller vehicle, a lighter, more powerful powertrain could be the answer. Since the Charger is electric only, and that's been confirmed by Tim Kuniskis, the Challenger seems like it would be powered by the new 3-liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder Hurricane engines. We've already seen these in the direct connection catalog and under the hood of the Jeep Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. Dodge is apparently retooling the Charger Daytona concept for a gas engine, but CEO Tim Kuniskis keeps saying this is going to be electric only, so keep the Charger as the EV offering, and the Challenger will become the gasoline-powered vehicle. The drag pack, which is always based on the Challenger, will also have a Hurricane race version under the hood, so it makes sense to run the Hurricane in the next-gen Challenger. That would really help clearly differentiate between the cars for the buyers as well. Dodge can also use that next-gen ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, which has integrated hybrid technology and could lead to a hybrid Challenger as well. The high-output version currently puts out 510 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque in the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, so a lighter, more compact Challenger coupled with a hybrid transmission and better fuel economy than the Hemis could be a recipe for success. Plus, keep in mind they could add all-wheel drive as well to further improve the performance. Now, when would this Challenger be out for sale? This is probably the easiest answer to come up with today, as we've already seen this situation in the past. The Charger was announced in 2005, releasing for the 2006 model, and the Challenger came exactly 2 years later, announced in 2007 and delivered as an 2008 model. By doing that, Dodge could build attention and publicity, putting all the focus first on the Charger and driving up the excitement and sales. Then once that dies down a bit, do it all over again for the Challenger, and Dodge will stay in the headlines and the social media discussions. The Charger is slated to launch in 2024, and it's a huge deal as it's Dodge's first foray into the realm of electric vehicles. Dodge has to showcase the vehicle, release information, market it adequately, and take down sales. The last thing Dodge should be doing is announcing the Challenger right now, possibly confusing people and taking away lots of attention from their EV Charger. So once they've got this Charger in dealerships and on the road, announcing the next-gen Challenger in 2025, and then releasing it in 2026, essentially copying the original strategy of doing things 2 years later, is the answer here, keeping all eyes and ears on the Dodge brand. So in summary, we know the 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona SRT will be a large electric-powered two-door vehicle with a spacious interior. The next-gen Dodge Challenger should be smaller, possibly with a convertible and/or all-wheel drive, still gas-powered by the Hurricane engines, and therefore likely to better challenge the Mustang and Camaro. It also offers Dodge muscle car enthusiasts a non-electric option. So that's it for this video. What did you think of what we talked about today? Are you in agreement with my comments about the next-gen Challenger, or do you disagree? Are you looking forward to it? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for all your Mopar content, and I'll see you in the next video.